Hello everyone, hope you're doing really great. I have a question for you. Are you being manipulated? Let's talk about manipulation right now, okay? So a lot of people know that one of my main modalities that I teach is neuro-linguistic programming. If you're wondering what that is, it stands for, or the abbreviation is NLP. I'm sure you've heard of that before. And it's neuro, which is the neural pathway of your mind and the pictures that your five senses, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and visual. Hey guys. And our experiences come through our senses, and how we internalize those things can actually change the neurology in our mind. And then the programs that we have, our unconscious mind can actually take in 41 million bits per second, whereas consciously we can only take 7 bits per second. So some people think that NLP is manipulative. Well, it can be when used in a manipulative way, right? So I like to manipulate people into being their powerful self and believing in themselves. So I'm really careful and conscious, making sure that the words I speak are going to actually empower people. Now, there is actually a dark side of NLP that people use in media, in movies, that actually manipulate people. The funny thing is, when I ask people that have not gotten into NLP yet, because I believe everyone should know how their minds and how their programs run in their minds, especially because it would change the world in a way that would really bring enlightenment and unplug people from the system. Hey Sharon. And so the funny thing is people will say, well, NLP is manipulative. Well, you only really have that belief because you likely want to stay with what's familiar to you rather than increase your knowledge by moving out of your comfort zone. The other thing too is you probably only have that belief because you're worried about being manipulated and you don't have a model that allows you to explore the limiting hypothesis such as this. So there are many ways to manipulate people, but what if you could actually use it to empower people, to motivate people? I've been having a lot of thoughts of this, and I really want to raise awareness behind what the media does. They embed suggestions. In fact, Hollywood has done a really great job in showing what mind control really is. When mind control, you actually have to have 5 elements. Would you like to know what that is? 5 elements to control someone. One of those would be pulling them out of their environment, an unfamiliar environment. I'll give you a couple of them. Another would be torturing someone, okay? Yeah. And that could even be, have you ever seen Mission Impossible, where they put his wife, whether, or fiance or girlfriend or something like that, in front of him, and they actually tell him that if they don't tell him the truth and get certain type of knowledge out of him, then they're gonna kill the woman. And eventually they actually shoot and kill this woman right in front of him. It ends up not being her, but that is a form of torture. There's also lots of movies that you may watch that can cause you to be tortured inside without you even realizing it. And then the other element is that you are in an environment where you're really tired, or the highest peak of when you're most suggestible is late at night. When things are dark and it's late and you're tired, that's why nightly news is actually the worst to watch, because they will embed lots of negative suggestions within you. No wonder why people are fearful of things, because nightly news, if you're a nightly news watcher, you are being brainwashed over and over, and they say the same messages over and over and over and again. very manipulative language. I haven't had TV or news for years and years and years. And about a year ago, I went to a training and I stayed in an Airbnb. And at the Airbnb, the family was watching the news the whole time. And I cannot believe how many times I would go downstairs, and it was right around COVID, and how many suggestions there were being embedded over and over and over about COVID, all over, about every 30 seconds to a minute, being embedded about COVID and how it's destroying our economy. How often do you think people are being embedded about our economy going to pots, and how many people are believing it? So these are some of the tactics that people use. There's also certain types of language that pull people in and suck them in and start embedding suggestions, and it likely affects you in business and you have no idea. Have you ever found yourself getting in this weird mood all of a sudden and you don't know or understand why? It could be a billboard in the background that you pass by. It could be anything. Yeah, Sharon says, that's why I'm learning not to buy things on the internet at night. I always have to cancel them later. Exactly. Because at nighttime, you are more open to suggestion, and these are the types of things that I teach people so that you can be more awake and very, very, hey Prativa, very much more able to control your mental and emotional state so that you can get out of that stuck state that you're in. Because what happens is, like in the movie Tron, we create this world that we really, really want. And then there's all these suggestions, all of these things being programmed in us from an early age of 0 to 7 even, up into our adulthood. And if we're accepting those things without even knowing, because we don't know how our unconscious mind works, then sooner or later we start trusting those things and believing those things. Therefore, we become stuck and not able to move past certain beliefs or certain ideas. So it's extremely important to understand how your unconscious mind works and how you can reprogram those old beliefs into more empowering beliefs. And so I do have a training coming up June 21st to 25th. I know that, life is really busy for a CEO and a business leader, but I took these trainings when I was the most busy in my life. And it's like, have you ever seen the jar, an empty jar, and if you put all this sand in it, and you have sand and rocks, and if you put all the sand in it and go to put in the rocks won't fit, right? That's likely how you're living your life. So you fill your days with lots and lots of sand, and you don't have time for anything else. But if you actually changed your strategy and you put rocks in first, all the good stuff, most important things that actually make your life fulfilling, then you can add all of the sand in and they both fit. So that's how these trainings are designed. When you come to a training, it helps you realign and reprogram all those things, and all the problems that you are having in business and in your life gets fixed during the training. So it unlocks things and creates more time in your life. So if you have a problem with time, this is the training for you, especially because time is an illusion, my friends. It really is. Because what is really going on is you may be motivated away from pain, and you're shoving down pain that you have right now. I know it because I did it too. You're shoving away pain and working harder, not smarter. You're diving into work so much that you forget to poke your head up and smell the roses. And the more pain you feel, the harder you work, because you feel like you could actually get away from that pain even more. So I hope this helps. My trainings are truly a way to awaken your consciousness in such a way that you're able to be more in control of your mental and emotional state, having a more effective and working more efficient in your business in a way that just will bring so much more fulfillment in your life. Sharon says, yes, I do not feel the spirit with the newspaper, most radio, and 98% of TV. Yep. Listen to that, because they are embedding a lot of things that you're very unaware of. And Sharon is actually coming to my training, so it's going to be a lot easier for you afterwards to be able to filter things out. So anyway, let me know if this has been helpful for you. I want to reveal all my secrets to you. Of course, this is kind of the slow way in the Facebook group because I can only tell you so much, but I would love to reveal all the secrets so that you can have more control and become your most powerful self as you transcend the limits of your mind. We'll see you around. It's not working. It says finish.